It's about that time. It's time for the IRS train wreck of the week. This is the segment of the show where I talk about someone who came into the office and their situation, their financial situation, their tax situation was essentially a train wreck. And there's always a happy ending.
And that crash, that was like right when they walked through the door. That's what you heard. Darrin has to fix it.
So in this particular case, it was actually a referral from another lawyer that I know in the community. And this gentleman is working for him. Now, the taxpayer in question here is a former law enforcement officer, former SWAT team member. So, big shout out to him for, being brave enough to take that job, as we know.
It is a hard time to be a police officer right now.
It's a very difficult job. And this particular gentleman wanted a little bit more for his family. He was starting to get a little bit older, and his body, I think, was starting to break down from all the hard training and whatnot. So this gentleman's actually in law school, and I'm not sure the IRS ever really figured that out, which probably would not have been a good fact. But he owed about $32,778. Now, we talked about in the first and second segments of the show that smaller cases like this are actually harder to settle with the IRS because, I have to basically demonstrate that this particular taxpayer is not going to be able to pay that $32,778 over the life of the statute of limitations. In this case, it was pretty close to 10 years. So, that's kind of a hard battle, right? It's like, no, this guy will never be able to pay this off within 10 years. It's, $32,000 is a lot of money if you're the one that's going to pay for it. But, if you're out driving around on the street, like virtually every car was $30,000 or more when it was purchased new off the lot, right?
Right.
So it's not that
And
much
if he's
money.
SWAT team police officer for any length of time, he's probably making anywhere between $75 and $100.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. And then he had a wife that was working and whatnot. But anyway, he's in law school now. He's working part-time. Wife is not working. Can't remember why. We filed an offer in compromise with the IRS for $500 because I was able to basically, demonstrate, at least initially, that they had no monthly disposable income and essentially no assets. And so we filed the offer for $500. Now, this offer came through really fast. Typically a wage earner type offer is going to take like 6 months. This one took about 4 months. Looks like it's going to settle for $2,988.
That's
so
pretty good.
Something a little bit under 10 cents on the dollar. Smaller case. This guy's going to pay that off within the first, within 5 months of acceptance of the offer, and he's going to be off and running for the rest of his life.